What's up, guys? This is Karuzu from Karuzu's Gaming and Reactions, and I'm back with another video. It's good to see you guys again. Alright, so basically, we're going to be talking about Avengers Endgame alternate and deleted scenes revealed. So, we are some briefs article, and don't worry, I'm going to link the article in the description below, and so you guys can go check it out for yourself. This article is from Cosmic Book News, a very prominent site, very good site for comic book information and movie hero related information. So let's get into it. Uh, the Avengers Endgame debuted this past weekend, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. The Russo brothers have already talked in length about potential plot holes, and in turn, the writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely also answer a batch of questions which reveal alternate and deleted ideas and scenes for the movie. Okay. It's revealed, here we go, here's the first reveal. It's revealed that following Infinity War, they couldn't figure out what to do with Thanos in Avengers Endgame until a producer came up with the idea to kill Thanos. Once the producer came up with the suggestion, they explored the idea and found it could work. The next thing, the memorial shown in San Francisco with all the names was also going to be featured in every city with millions of names. Okay, so where Ant-Man went to check the memory stones and see if his daughter's name was on there, they were going to do that in every single city. Yeah. After the snap, millions of people did die. Trillions of people actually died when he snapped his fingers. They originally had Thor at the start of the movie in the Avengers Endgame on a mission of vengeance, but realized he's always on a mission of vengeance. He always fails, so he became Fat Thor. That kind of buffoonery to me for that character is just nonsense in my mind. I would have rather them did the Avengers thing. At least it'd have been something, even if he had failed, at least it'd have been something familiar. But make him look like the Big Lebowski? No. No, 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 no. Not your finest hour on that one, Russo. And I disagree with how you use him. Thor is one of the most powerful comic book characters in history. So to have him, basically, treated that way in the movie early on just kind of, put a bad taste in my mouth. Still love the movie though. All right. They confirmed that the time in Infinity War during Wakanda when they had Banner and Hulk compromising to become Smart Hulk, but they say it would have came at the wrong moment, and it would have been an upright where everybody else was down. They also confirmed that Avengers Endgame, they wrote scenes about the lab merging involving gene splicing, but ended up going the route in the movie. They didn't have gene splicing in the comics, so that's what the writer of this article says. There's no gene splicing to become Professor Hulk. It's a mental and psychological thing. Further, reading Hulk is the worst character in the movie. All right. They considered using Hawkeye. I don't agree with that. They considered using Hawkeye archery scene in Infinity War after the snap, but it didn't seem like it made sense since Hawkeye wasn't in the movie. Joe Russo said to put that scene in the front of the Avengers Endgame. Here's the issue with that, though. Because you're under such a tight time restraint, the 2 minutes it took you to do the archery scene that you could have put at an end credit scene in the last movie, you could have used those 2 minutes to actually give the Hulk character more depth because you never explained how he became Professor Hulk. That is a missing part of the movie. That is very important because you can't go from somebody being a wild animal, basically, to some smart kid taking selfies with kids. It has to have some sort of backstory. Now, here's my idea of what I think you could have done. So the 2 minutes that you used for the archery scene, you could have actually had Banner in like a retreat, like a recovery retreat, trying to figure out how to deal with multiple personalities, and they actually all the other Avengers actually approach him while he's in recovery, and what get the catalyst for him finding Professor Hulk is the fact that they might be able to go back and save everybody. I think that would have been as good an idea as any. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, let's just move on. They confirmed Captain Marvel in Avengers Endgame is less than people thought she'd be. A lot of people thought she'd be in the movie a lot more. Uh, oh, good. Goodness. Sorry about that, guys. A lot of people did think she was going to be in the movie a lot more, but she wasn't. Certainly, Captain Marvel is in Endgame less than you would have thought, but it's not the story we're trying to tell. It's the original Avengers dealing with the loss and coming up with a conclusion, and she's just fresh in blood. Okay, I get that. I understand that, but she is also the future. And so, that movie she did made $1 billion. So it's not like they're not going to do a sequel. They're going to have to. So, Marvel has this remarkable ability to do things that makes them money. They try using the Living Tribunal, really, in Infinity War during the Titan fight, but said everyone responded like, what? Yeah, I would have been like, what? Whoa. He has 3 heads, and it would indicate a whole different level of architecture to the universe, and I think that was just too much to throw in. And I agree. That would have been a lot to throw in. That would have came out of left field because you haven't introduced this character before, so it really would have been very, very weird. They also say Feige is still considering using the Living Tribunal. Good. Kevin Feige came up with the idea for time travel. Time travel. McFeely. Kevin Feige at one point said, hey, I would like to use the time stone, or use it as a time element. Use time as an element. And it let us spend a few weeks seeing what was the coolest thing we could do with time and not break the movie. Marcus, we all sat there going, really? We're going to do time travel, which has been done a million times before. That's probably why they didn't want to do it. It was only when we were looking at who we had available character-wise, we hadn't used Ant-Man yet. And there was really is in people's theory of quantum realm, a time thing in the MCU. That's true. A lot of the fandom had already decided that that's what it was going to be right after Infinity War. Before the Russos, well, they had already wrote Avengers 4. In fact, they had already stopped shooting Avengers 4 when Infinity War came out. But what I'm saying is that the finalization of all this stuff, you know, uh, was made based on the fandom. And that's why these Marvel movies succeed so much, because they do listen to the fandom. Fandom been pitching that same idea for weeks and weeks and weeks and months after Infinity War came out. So yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we found the loophole, and it's not cheating. They reveal in the first draft Avengers Endgame wasn't going to be good to go back to the first Avengers movie, but to Asgard where Iron Man would be wearing the stealth suit and battle Heimdall, who could see him. Whoa. That would have been pretty cool. Alright. Thor was going to have long scenes with Natalie Portman. Thank God they took that out. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Peter Quill and Morag scene was originally a lot longer, a lot grander and more epic in scope, but hugely complicated. McFeely, it was underwater. It was clever, but it was just too big of a set piece. And what didn't allow for Thanos and his daughter, what that didn't do is allow for Thanos and his daughters to get on the trail at the right moment. So we went back when Peter Quill was there, and we realized that we could just punch Peter Quill in the face, and it's hilarious. And I still think it's hilarious. It was funny. Another scene involved going to Treshkilan, the primary headquarters for Shield, to get the Tesseract. That would have been cool. Another scene involved somebody going to the car and drive to Doctor Strange's house. Oh, okay. Somebody getting in the car and driving to Doctor Strange. And Joe Russo is one in question. Why are we going to this movie? We can go to Avengers. Let's make it work. Instead of using Robert Redford, they wrote scenes with Nick Fury and a version with Maria Hill. Oh, okay. Regarding the final battle scene, they wrote that it didn't make it into the movie, but involved all the heroes in the trench. Yeah, they was all in a trench, like a military trench, ducked down from enemy fire, and they were going to have a scene in a trench. That would have been much too weird. Ophelia didn't play well in the scene. It was just been trash. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that at all. Regarding the Marvel, okay, they thought to bringing back Hank and Janet Pym in suits. That would have been cool. Regarding the Marvel Netflix character appearing in Avengers Endgame like Daredevil or Luke Cage, they feared that not enough people to know. And, he calls BS on it. And that's true. It's not the fact that a lot of people would know, because people would know who Daredevil is and they would know who Luke Cage is. Those two wildly successful TV shows on Netflix. But, uh, they just didn't want to do it because they never introduced the character to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. TV, yes, but not cinematic. So that would have been a bit weird. So, and it screws up the timelines and things like that. And assume they got snapped away with everybody else. All right. They say illegally they say legally they were not allowed to use the Fox Marvel characters like Silver Surfer, Galactus, X-Men, and Fantastic Four. Not yet, but they're almost about to have the whole of properties in the world right in their pocket. They also explain why Tony had a funeral and Black Widow did. I thought that was weird that he had a funeral. But Tony Stark is one of the primary characters of all the Marvel movies, to be honest, but his own movies that which kickstarted this whole thing off. But if you really want to be honest, Blade actually started it all and actually saved Marvel, to be honest. But yeah, Iron Man started, made a lot of money, and so the franchise went from there. There was a version of Hawkeye that dies instead of Black Widow. Yep, I figured they probably wrote a version for him. But the visual effects directors was against the idea and said, "Don't you take this away from her." It's crazy. Tony Stark, dead at the end, was always the outcome. Cap was always going to have a happy ending. They say that there's a great Moon Knight movie to be made, but they don't know what it is. Read more from Christopher Marcus and Stephen Feely talking the Avengers Endgame, New York Times. So what I'll do is I'll link both this article and the New York Times article in the description. So guys, what do you think? I had a few thoughts about that, but I want to hear y'all thoughts. Put it in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this article. If you're looking forward to some problems you have with Endgame, put it down there. Let's start a discussion about this. Don't forget to follow me at official_KGR. I'm Karuzu from Karuzu's Game Reactions. We'll see all of you guys in the next video.